Example number 2 in section 2.4 again is talking about writing equations in slope-intercept form. However, we are going to use what is called point-slope form to achieve our goal. Now, point-slope form is this formula. It's the y value minus the y coordinate of the point we know, which is going to be equal to the slope m times parenthesis x minus the x coordinate of the point that we know. Maybe I should write that with a green parenthesis at the end. There's your point slope formula. The red numbers are the numbers we need to fill in. The m value is the slope, and x1 comma y1 is equal to the coordinate that they tell us in the problem, or one of the coordinates that they tell us. And we're going to use that in order to write equations in slope-intercept form. So if you need to, pause the video and make a really good note of that formula, highlight it, and keep it in your notes. All right, example number 1. Let's say that we have a line that goes through the points -2, -3, and 2, 5. Now, if we were to make a t-table of this, as I did for you in class, these would be two of the solutions to the equation or the problem that we're looking for. We don't know what that equation is, and that's the goal. The goal is to figure out what is the problem that these two coordinates are the solutions for. Well, the first thing that we have to do, if we're going to use point-slope form, is we need to figure out the slope, which is the m value. Right now, we don't know that. Now, in order to do this, we take the two coordinates, and we know that slope is the change in the y values over the change in the x values. So what I need to do is I need to take the two y values and minus them on top. That's the change in. So I'm going to go 5 minus, and then this coordinate is -3. So 5 minus -3. On the bottom, we're going to do the x coordinates. So since the 5 went first on the top, the 2 has to go first on the bottom. So I'm going to go 2 minus, and this is a -2. And I need to solve that. Well, we all know minusing a negative means to add, so therefore I get 8 divided by 4, which is equal to 2. That is the slope that I'm going to use in my problem. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go forward a screen. I'm going to save this information. I'm going to jump forward, and we are going to use point-slope form to solve our problem. And from the first screen, we know that was y minus y1 is equal to m times parenthesis x minus x1. Now again, our two coordinates, I'm going to write them down over here that I gave you, was -2, -3, and 2, 5. These are two of the answers to the problem. We also calculated our slope to be 2. So I'm going to fill in the information. It does not matter if you pick point number 1 or point number 2 to solve the problem. They both will come out with the same answer. And since most of us like positive numbers, I'm going to use that one. So I'm going to put the y in, and I'm going to subtract the y coordinate. y1 is the y coordinate of the point I'm using, so I'm going to put 5 is equal to m, which is the slope, that's 2, parenthesis, the x stays there, minus x1 is where I use the x-coordinate of our point, which is 2. Now, if the directions say write in point-slope form, I'm done. There it is. That's point-slope form. However, if the directions say write in slope-intercept form, then I need to do what we've been talking about all along. I need to solve for the y value. So I'm going to take my equation, y minus 5 equals 2 parenthesis x minus 2, and I'm going to solve for y. This is pretty simple. First of all, get rid of the parentheses. We need to distribute. So I get y minus 5 equals 2x minus 4. Now I'm almost done. The last thing I need to do is get rid of this 5 and put it over here. These will cancel, and I get y equals 2x, and then that becomes plus 1. And that is my answer in slope-intercept form. Now, you can check that. These 2 points right here should be solutions to this problem. So, let's say I take the point 2, 5. If I take the number 2 and stick it in for x, we know 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 equals 5. Well, that checks out. So that is a solution to that problem. I'm also going to try negative 2, negative 3. If I take negative 2 and plug it in there, we know that 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, plus 1 does equal negative 3. So if you notice, both points check off in the y equals 2x plus 1. Therefore, I know I have the right answer. That's how you use point-slope form to solve an equation. Now it's your turn. Example B. I'm going to give you the 2 answers to the problem. 12, negative 2, and 3, 4. What I want you to do is pause the video and use point-slope form to write the answer and the equation for this problem in slope-intercept form. Okay. Hopefully you found the slope first. Minus the y-coordinates, 4 minus negative 2 on top, minus the x-coordinates, 3 minus 12 on bottom. That turns out to be 6 over negative 9, which comes out to be negative 2/3, which is my slope or my m value. Now I'm going to use point-slope form. Y minus y1 equals m parenthesis x minus x1, and I'm going to start substituting my numbers in. And I'm going to use this coordinate right here because I like my positive numbers. Y minus y1, which is 4, is equal to negative 2/3 parenthesis times x minus the x-coordinate, which is 3. There's point-slope form. I'm done if that's what it asks for. But I want it in slope-intercept form. Therefore, I need to distribute. So I need to take negative 2/3 times both of those. And I get y minus 4 equals negative 2/3 x, and then negative 2/3 times negative 3. A negative times a negative. That negative times that negative makes a positive, and 2/3 times 3 is 2. Last, I add 4 to both sides. Those cancel. And my slope-intercept form, y equals negative 2/3 x plus 6. And that is my equation that has these 2 solutions. And that's how you use point-slope form.